Hello everyone and welcome back to Modded Minecraft. So we are back on the FTOG server for a little bit more of Avant 3. And if you watched the last video, you'll probably remember me mentioning that the video that I'd originally recorded was a little bit too long. So I decided to cut it in half and make this second bit into a video in its own right. So that's what we've done. And we sort of joined the action pretty much from when I'd finished up doing the RF tools and I was just heading off out to do the second bit. So we'll rejoin the video at that point. So I'll see you in a while. Okay, so the next thing then is I kind of mentioned in the last episode, or sorry, it was actually the episode before that this thing down here, it hasn't got that much in there at the moment because it hasn't got a hoe. And I had all the steel that I needed for now. In fact, that's filling up as well. We're going to have to put an upgrade on that shortly. But yeah, I kind of mentioned that I wanted to get that into its own building. And I've been busy clearing a little bit of space for that. Now, unlike last episode, I'm not going to sort of have you watch me do the actual building, because this is just literally, it's going to be pretty similar to this. It's going to be a bit of a shell, but I do want to do something with that building that I want to show on camera. And yeah, it's kind of, a few people on the server have been playing with it already, and I was having a little bit of a play around with it in my creative world, and I've got to say I'm slowly getting hooked on it. And I'm a bit worried about it, to be honest, because I know how much time this particular mod actually ends up taking up. So it is the Chisel and Bits mod. And yeah, so I've finally been bitten by the Chisel and Bits bug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly get this the frame of this building done. And yeah, then we'll get into making it look a little bit better with the Chisel and Bits. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so a little while later, and yeah, we've got a little bit of a basic shell, and it's just a bit of the granite bricks, which I used last time on the shop, I think. Yeah, I did somewhere. And yeah, just some normal chisel bricks as the outer skin. So what I want is, where we've got these gaps here, I want archways. And Chisel and Bits is kind of the perfect thing for doing that. And I want a little bit of a curve here. I want to have some sort of stairs for this, but you can't make stairs from the granite bricks. But obviously something else that we can do with the Chisel and Bits. And then finally, I want a decent looking roof. And I'm going to use the andesite again rather than the iron plate slabs. But yeah, I want it to look better. I want it to look better than this roof. So yeah, I'm getting some strange FPS at the moment, but yeah, I don't really understand why that is. But we'll just jump down here for a minute. And yeah, so the basic items then that we need, and I've sort of gone ahead and made a couple of these anyway, but you need a chisel. So we've made a diamond chisel. It is literally just a diamond and a stick. And then you've got the next most important item, the chisel bit bag, because this captures all the bits. Now, we haven't been able to make that yet because we need a bit, which I'm going to show you how to get in a second, and then surround that with some wool. But basically, when you start chiseling, you're going to create an absolute ton of chiseled bits, and your inventory, I mean, my inventory management is a nightmare anyway, but yeah, it would be an even bigger nightmare. So we need at least one of those, potentially more. So I'm intending to make 2 to start with. And then I've got one of these, the positive chisel design, but just to sort of quickly explain what they do. Once you've finished a block, you can take like a snapshot of it, and then you can use that elsewhere. So you haven't got to recreate the same block over and over again if you're sort of putting the same block in multiple places. And The positive chisel design basically allows you to chisel the same block. The negative chisel design basically allows you to put the same design but on a different block. And the mirror chisel design, yeah, kind of self-explanatory really. You can start off with one side of a design, and then the mirror chisel design will create the symmetry for you. And then the rest of these bits and pieces, I really don't have a clue yet. I've not used them. I mean, fluids, bit tank, I'm not really, I didn't even know that you could chisel fluids. Tape measure, I kind of self-explanatory what it is, but I don't know how you would use it. The saw is a bit like the saw from Simple Covers. And the wrench is just like any other wrench. You just basically click and rotate. So there's not a lot to it, but the possibilities of what you can do are pretty endless. So let's make a start. And first of all then, I want to collect a couple of bits just so that we can actually get moving, because we'll need, say, the bag. So what we do, you start off with a single. You notice if I just use my middle mouse button there. Sorry, I was moving off it. I have to hold shift down as well. If you hold down your middle mouse button, you can change to different shapes, which we'll kind of like look at as we're going along, rather than me just explaining everything as we go along. But for now, I just want the single bit. So you basically just left click and you'll get a bit, and I want two. So and now if we look in our inventory, we've got two chisel bits, bricks. So we can now make our bag, and I'm just going to nip over here because it's just a little bit easier than messing around. If I will use this one, than messing around with the RF tools one. So there's one, and I'm not sure if they stack. They probably don't. No, they don't. That's fine. And then what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to grab a whole bunch of these things. There's two ways that you can chisel stuff. You can either, like I've started here, you can actually just chisel blocks as they stand, and then say place them, snapshot them, whatever. And when you break these, it doesn't matter. They will keep their form. It doesn't go back to a normal brick. So if I show you in here, we've now got a chiseled brick, and I can pop that back down again, and it'll be exactly the same as it was previously. Or you can take the bits in your bit bag and you can place them to make things. So for example, if we get this and we change this to the biggest thing that we can grab, and you'll notice with the cubes you can either have grid snapped or not. Grid snapped is much better, and durability on the chisels is pretty good. And now if we look in our bit bag, just trying to find somewhere to put it, you'll see that we've got a load of bits. Now notice the amount in each stack here. So this is not just stacks of 64, this is stacks of 512 bits. Like I said, your inventory, I mean my inventory there would be dead after just one, maybe two of those. But there you go. So we can start off with this then, just to give you a quick example. If you go to your chisel now and say change it into something that's a little bit bigger, change it into this, you can basically just start putting these down, and you know, whatever, you can build whatever you want. And then when you break that, I mean that's obviously nothing, but when you break that then becomes a shape in your inventory, like so. And you can put that back down again wherever you want it. So I don't know, just put it down in the same place. Or if you don't like it, you can just chisel it away again. Oops, I accidentally just chiseled out a bit of the floor. It doesn't matter. We're gonna be getting rid of that anyway. Or I could have just put it back down again, I suppose. There we go. Look, 1, 2. I'm putting it down in the smallest possible variance. So the actual kind of like, because you can have such small bits, as I say, what you can create with it is pretty endless. I mean, there is a lot of stuff. But what I want to create, as I say, is an archway. And I spent some time just working out the dimensions of exactly how it would work. So we'll start off with the smallest bits. So let's make sure that I have actually got it on the smallest bits. So yeah, single bit. And we're going to start off up here. And this is basically going to be, and it's quite difficult sometimes finding the center point, but I think if I just step away, I think that's about the center point. But basically, if you get really close to it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's just one on this side, yeah, because you can actually see the bits on the brick, the pixels on the brick when you're that close. And I'm going to continue that way, and I'm going to make myself an arch, and then yeah, when I've done that, I'll kind of show you what the next thing that you do is. So I'm just going to keep this single width, and yeah, I'll be back when I've done that. Okay, so I've traced out what I want my archway to look like. So I say they're all single bits. You can just see if I just go close to it, they're just raised by, I guess for want of a better word, 1 pixel of a brick. Obviously not a pixel on the screen, but yeah. So anyway, next thing we want to do is fill in these gaps and then bring this all the way to the front. And I mean, you could have it indented in if you want. I may have a look and see how that looks, but I'm probably going to come all the way forward. But how you go about doing that is hold your shift key down, use the middle mouse button, and you want this drawn region. And what you basically do is you hold sort of and drag with the right mouse button. So if you see here, if I do this, that line goes all the way along. But we don't want to do it like that. We want to do it the other way because I want to go out to the edge of the wall so I can do the whole thing in one go. And just if I can actually stand still for a second. So it's basically going to go all the way to the edge and then all the way out like so. And I just missed one, but that's fine because you can then just drag that along like that. And then, yeah, and then the next one and so on and so forth. And basically just do that and fill the whole of the gaps down. And yeah, I'll do that and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so there's our finished archway. And if we just move away a little bit, you can see it does look pretty circular. So quite happy with how that's turned out. And so yeah, the next thing we want to do then is we want to get that transferred all around and the other side. And the best way to do that is to use one of the positive chisel designs because we're doing it on the same material. And literally all you have to do is shift click it. Now, in order to do that, I'm just going to need to make myself a little bit of a platform to stand on. Because otherwise, as soon as I press shift, I am going to fall to the ground. And we've got to do this a few times. So first of all, then let's just go and grab the first one. And so it has to be sort of brick by brick. So you have to work out which blocks are covered. So for this one, there's actually 5 blocks. So just press down shift, right click, and if you hold shift on that now, you can see that is actually that shape. Now, kind of get the feeling that if I don't know, if I hold that into the wall that way, nah, it won't do. It has to be on the left hand side. I thought maybe it would mirror it if you held it that way, but it doesn't. So that's fine. So we'll pop that one up there and do the next one, which is going to be the middle piece. That's that piece, like so. And then the right hand side. By the way, don't try to do this in a stack because you'll just transfer the image onto every single piece. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter because, just grab that one, because you can just erase this again. If you just put it back into a crafting table, then it will undo what you've done, and then just the last one there, like so. Now, obviously we could have done the mirror design for this, but I'd prefer to do the archway completely just so that I could sort of see what it was like. I couldn't imagine it in two halves, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so that's fine. So now, if we just jump down here, the next thing is to transfer it across. And all you do, you have to have the item down there. It won't place it for you. So you've got basically the 3 bricks across here and then 1 here. And then make sure that you choose the right ones. So I've put them in order, so I know pretty much what they are. But if you just go up to it, give it a right click, and then say, just do each one in turn. And I think I did the wrong brick there. I did actually do the wrong brick, so that's fine. We'll just take that one out. And as always, I've messed up. It was coming. I hadn't really done it today too much. I've perhaps done it a little bit, but yeah, it's fine. So what we'll do, we'll take that out. We'll take that brick out. We'll grab the brick that we've just done for the archway, and we'll put that there, and then we'll put the other brick underneath, like so. Right, so meanwhile, we want to change that one into that, then the right hand side of the archway, like so, the left hand wall. And this is going to make me go side on, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And interestingly enough, I think I could probably get away with doing that one with just one, which we can. I wonder why that wouldn't work for this, but it would work for those bits, because they're flatter. I don't know, sees them as covers or something. But yeah, fine. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'll be back. Okay, so that is all the way around now. And I'm kind of trying to press on a little bit because I realise the video is going to run over again. But yeah, so what I want to do now, these centre columns, I want to have a pattern on there. I don't want them just to be sort of straight as they are. I mean, they don't look too bad. But what we can do is use the chisel. And I'm using the draw region again. But this time instead of right clicking, I am going to be doing the left click. And if you just hold it down, and then you can go in as far as you want. And I'm going to say going to go in, I don't know, I think 4 will be sufficient. And then basically you can just do a pattern as you want it. And I hadn't really sort of pre-planned anything, but I just thought go like that. And then we'll go, if we go 2 from the edge, just make sure that gets all of that. It's easier actually to go from the bottom because then you can see what you're doing. And we'll just mirror that on the other side as well. So it went in 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we went in 3 with that. Did I do that right? Oh, I missed a little bit. There we go. And make sure that I've got the bottom one again. 3 with that. And then finally, we grab that and come there. And the same here, grab that 2 in. Once you've been sort of doing it for a while, it looks quite difficult first to actually get stuff in the right place, but it does sort of become easier. It just depends the angle sometimes. Visually, you can see things. Well, because there's different colours in this texture as well, and they're sort of like quite randomly dotted around, it can make it quite tricky to see at first. But you can move about while you're chiseling as well, so you can get yourself at the perfect angle pretty much to do anything that you want to do. You don't just have to stay in the same spot, which is kind of handy. Right, so that, I think I'm going to have a look what that looks like. And all we need to do is to use the blank pattern. Now, if you say hold the shift key down, you can see what I've got there. I got this one, which is the other side of that, and you saw that we didn't need that. So literally drop it in the crafting table and job done. That is now blank again. So you don't have to waste any patterns. And so just going to shift. I'll do this. Shift right click, and there we go. And because the bricks are already in place, I can literally just shift click that up to where I want it. Now, I kind of want it up until there, and then I want to do an end pattern for this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to work out where it needs to end. How many bits does this go up before this comes in? Let's just have a quick look. 1, 2, 3 from the bottom of the brick. You see that? 3 bits before the bottom of the brick, and that comes out because I don't want to sort of look down there and there's a hole going up all the way there. And equally, I kind of want this to come to an end. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to draw in a couple of bits and pieces just to see if I can just get this to finish up nicely. I might mess around with it afterwards and just see what we can come up with. But then about that far down, I just want to fill the entire thing in. You know, it might be easier if we actually just break that and then choose another block, say a wool block, and then pop that on top. And then we can actually see the detail that we're doing. So yeah, and then you can change this to single mode for more, so obviously for more detailed bits. So we pop a bit there. No, don't want to pop a bit there. That was what I wanted to do. Make sure you choose the correct tool. And nah, I don't like that. Take that away again. Like so. So that is currently in like that. And what we'll do, in fact, get rid of that. We'll change this to draw again, and we'll fill in a whole piece to the top. No, I've just deleted it. Right. If you make a mistake, you can just hold down Alt, left Alt, and press undo, and it'll undo what you've just done. I actually meant to draw it in, not delete it. I was on the chisel again. I keep making that mistake between the chisel and the bits. Chisel and the bits. Right, there we go. So that will be like that. And then just need to fill in this top piece here so that it actually finishes. And I think I'd like to just delete out that bit. So you got a little bit of a shape at the top there. And then we'll take this and we'll just gradually angle that in so it doesn't just suddenly disappear. And get rid of that one piece there and do the same that side. Like so. So that should look kind of okay, I think. Maybe get rid of those bits just so there's a bit of a shape there. And I'm hoping that isn't wider than what we... I'm hoping that isn't too wide, actually. I don't know. I'll see. The good thing is, right, if I put this in position and it doesn't look right, what I can do is I can just literally just change it while it's in situ, and that'll be the end of it. So we want to fill... Do we want to fill that side in? I think, do you know what? Let's leave this one like that, but we'll just fill in the top piece, so because we don't want a gap underneath where the other part is. So that's 3 there, 3 there, and 3 there. Right, let's have a look. Let's just have a look and see how that looks. So if we take our last blank piece, take a snapshot of it, and then let's just go up here and apply it to this and just see how it looks. Because I have a feeling if we just, yeah, I don't know. I might play around with that a little bit more, but you kind of get the idea. And here, I think this has worked, or maybe it hasn't. In fact, have I just? It wanted to be 3 from the bottom. Yeah, so I did need to mess around with it. But that's fine. I can do that off camera in between episodes. And then the last thing that I want to do is I just want to create some better roof pieces. So all I'm literally going to do with this, now I'm hoping that I've got some andesite on me. I have. So we'll just grab some andesite. And I'm going to pop one down there. And I'm going to pop another one. Now I'm going to delete that one so that I've got the bits. And I'm going to use the half size cube again just to collect up the bits that we need. And then hopefully I've got some in my inventory. Good, there we go. And all I'm literally going to do with this is I'm going to take I think the smallest bits. No, because that will take absolutely forever. We'll take the 1/8 snapped cubes and basically just build up a kind of a sloping roof piece from that. So yeah, I'm going to do that and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so yeah, there's our roof design, and yeah, just right click that in. And now we can use that, as I say, we can put that wherever. And I am going to have that. Obviously, what I'm going to need to do is put some blocks in first of all. And that will basically, is that the right one? Yeah, it is. That will basically go like that. So that's pretty cool. And it looks as though my bag is full again, because that is what happens when your bag's full. As I say, that is what I'm tending to do. But yeah, we've kind of run out of time, so I am going to busy myself making another bag and then going and picking all these bits up that I've just dropped all over the floor. And I'll get this design along here. I think I'll probably change this a little bit because I'm not too happy. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't look too bad. It's just a bit abrupt, I think. But yeah, I'll do something about that. I'll get myself happier with that. And yeah, I'm going to do the floor. I've had a think about it and had a look at a couple of blocks that I might want to use. I think I'm probably going to use coal blocks in here, but I'll do that in between episodes as well, as I say, because that's just sort of straight building. And the purpose of this episode obviously was to show you the Chisels Bits. So yeah, I'm losing my words now. So I am going to end the episode there. So yeah, if you've liked the episode, if you like the video, then please feel free to drop me a like. It's always much appreciated. And yeah, it really does help me out. And as always, guys, until next time, take care. Bye.